Welcome to WAVE 101 Lesson 3. Today, Denise is going to go over the Martha and Mary story, and we're going to go over example 3 in seeing facts in the Bible. Here's Denise.
You know, for a long time, I really didn't like the story of Martha and Mary, especially around the holidays. You know, I'd be doing extra baking and extra cleaning, extra cooking, all in service of the family. And I thought this story was sort of discounting my efforts. But then I think God gave me a better understanding of the passage. Let me read it for you in Luke 10:38-42. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. And she had a sister called Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made, and she came to him and said, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me." "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you are worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." Now you can probably imagine how excited Martha and Mary were that day. Jesus was going to be a guest in their home. And Martha probably thought, wow, Jesus is coming to my home. How can I show him how honored I am, how much I love him? And so she probably said to herself, I know, I'm going to cook him a beautiful meal. I'll give him the finest hospitality possible. And then he will know how honored I am and how much I love him. And Mary probably thought, wow, Jesus is going to be a guest in my home. How can I show him how much I love him? And she thought, I know, I'm just going to be with him. I'm going to sit at his feet. I'm going to dote on his every word, and then he will know how much I love him. Now, as we know from the story, Mary had her fingers on Jesus' pulse a little bit more than Martha. Martha had a little bit more, I would think, of a discipline-led approach because the focus was on herself and what she had to offer, how she could serve, what her value could be to the Lord. And Mary had a little bit more desire-led approach. She was thinking, I get to be with the Lord. How can I learn from him? I'm just going to sit and soak it in. She desired to be with him. The focus was on Jesus. So the discipline-led approach sort of reminds me of the husband who gives his wife 4 radial tires for her birthday. Now, he's thinking about her because it's about her safety and it's a very generous gift. But for most women, that wouldn't be a fingers on the pulse kind of moment. But if he said to her, your birthday's coming up and I just want to be with you. You know, how about if we go to this beautiful hotel and we just spend the weekend together? Now, for most women, that would be way closer to a fingers on the pulse kind of gift. I think the reason this story of Martha and Mary, the reason it made it into the Bible, is because Jesus is a guest in our heart. How are we going to please him? Are we going to focus on ourselves and what we have to offer and what we could do for him? Or are we going to focus on him and being with him and learning from him? You know, I am certain that he will send us all out to do things for him. But the point is, where is our focus? Where is our focus? Because if you've ever found yourself doing a lot of things for the Lord and getting irritable, you know, the focus is probably on yourself. And as you see Martha, she sort of attacked the Lord, you know. Don't you care? And send her to help me. And, you know, she just was getting all irritable. And that's what happens when we get out of fellowship with Jesus and with God. So I think it's interesting to think if Martha went to Jesus with her quandary and she said, Lord, I'm just not sure what to do. I want to show you the best hospitality I know how, and I want to provide a beautiful meal for you. But if I do that, I'm going to be in the kitchen all night, and I won't be with you. So I'm just not sure what to do. Now, don't you know if Jesus fed 5,000, he could have probably managed 12. But Martha missed her opportunity to be with him. And if she was focused on wanting to show off her culinary skills, so everybody was like, ooh, Martha, that was amazing, then she might be thinking that her value to Jesus is what she brings to the table, what she could offer, what she could do. The focus being on herself. So it is so important for us to spend time with Jesus so we're not giving him radial tires our whole life, giving him things he didn't even ask for or want. Aren't you glad that when Martha said to Jesus, tell her to help, tell her to get in there and help me, that he didn't look at Mary and say, yeah, Mary, get in the kitchen, wrestle me up something good. That he didn't do that. He wants to be with us. He values the relationship. Blessings on you.
There are 4 steps in devotional Bible study. We're looking at the first step, seeing the facts in the passage. And this step is really just identifying what you see in the passage, what's going on. You can actually even use the words that are in the passage to write out what you see is going on in that section of the Bible. Today we want to go over example number 3 to give you a little more practice seeing facts in the Bible. This example is taken from Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 10. Let me read it. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runs into it and is safe. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runs into it and is safe. Let's look at the first phrase. The name of the Lord. Okay. Just surface what you see there. He's talking about the name of the Lord. That's something you can write out. He's talking about the name of the Lord. So the next phrase says, is a strong tower. Okay, you could say, the name of the Lord is compared to a strong tower. You could also explore that a bit, the concept of strong tower. I see stones, I see a castle-like tower. So you can say, the name of the Lord is strong like stones or like a stone tower. Okay? The next phrase, the righteous runs into it and is safe. Okay, let's look at that word righteous. What do you see in that word righteous? The righteous runs into it. Well, that's a term that generally means the people of God. Now we would think of Christians run into it. But it's the people of God. So you could say, the people of God run into it. Very similar to the wording of the passage. And is safe. The righteous runs into it and is safe. So you could say, in the name of the Lord, we are safe. This enlarges as you think about it more and think about the next steps when you start to thinking about the significance of this. But when you think of God as a strong tower, it's like the closer we are to God, the safer we are. That's more like a lesson. That's like the next step. But first surface what's in the passage. That is the first step of devotional Bible study. Next time, Denise is going to talk about Jesus and the Father, and we'll go over example number 4 in seeing facts in the Bible. Lord bless you.